there's a mistake with a lot of breaststrokers and their kick. They think that the breaststroke is a squeeze pattern, that you're going to drop your knees out and you're going to squeeze the water together behind you. But scientifically, it would make sense to me that you would bring your legs up and want to push the water backwards, because all your force will be in the opposite direction. That's an aspect that I think I've developed and applied to my stroke, which has allowed me to stay in that long line position. The unique part about a breaststroke kick is a combination of things. It's a combination of flexibility and a combination of strength. You will not have a successful breaststroke kick if you have one without the other. I think both of them are needed. To achieve this, you have to have maximal ankle flexibility for a good catch and good knee flexion to maintain a range of motions. With the combination of those two, our goal is to have maximal flexion, maximal ankle catch, and a force backwards that's directly perpendicular to the stroke. And what's that going to allow is a huge force forward, allowing your body to continue moving forward in that line rather than up and down. When I'm kicking, and I'm kicking at my best, my philosophy is that I'm trying to force my ankles faster than my feet. So what that will allow will be maximal ankle flexion. By putting pressure on the outside of my feet, it would slow down the outside of my feet and allow my heels to move faster than the outside of my feet, and that would force a kick catch.
There you see just how much he's able to throw those hands out in front of him.
To emphasize the anchor and the streamline position, some of the drills we might do would be underwater swimming, maybe 3 pulls and a kick, and that'll be done with a straight body line. There will be no fluctuation of frequency. That line will stay straight, and a lot of that can be created by underwater swimming breaststroke. One of the things that we do in practice to maintain that long line integrity is a post-pull drill. This is going to replicate what I think helps me become a world-class swimmer in maintaining that line. Most of the time we do it with fins, and it's a posture position where either your hands are out in a streamlined position, you're laying on the water, or your hands are behind you. But the importance of the drill is to stay high on the water and really feel like your body is one, and that you're almost weightless, that you could just do one motion and your body could just maintain that velocity off that one motion forever.
This is a variation. The hands leading the body, but they're very effortless, weightless out front, not moving, but just extending the core line and making him experience the balance position with his arms way out front.
We'll repeat that with a pulse pull, so you'll do that and then you'll take a pull of breaststroke and maintain that body position for an extended amount of time to know what it feels like to have that long position and to have long distance per stroke and a good glide. Imagine swimming like this through the water. Obviously the resistance is going to be a lot higher than swimming almost like a dolphin through the water. Some of the drills that we'll do to accomplish that is we'll separate the pull and the kick, and we'll stay in the streamlined long position a lot longer. So I'll do a lot of breaststroke swimming underwater and eliminate any type of frequency where I'll try and maintain that line while pulling and kicking. The visual effect that we're creating is that we'll be able to move along through the water with minimal drag rather than forcing our way through the water.
The back position emphasizes the line from his shoulders to his knees. The polo kick allows him to just warm up his ankle flexion, one leg and ankle at a time.
breaststroke has always been deemed a feel stroke. Your breaststroke is going to be its best when you feel like you're swimming and your technique is together. And these drills are done to replicate that feel of balance and positioning on the water that suit your body the best.
Again, there's a variation. The pull buoy keeping the knees somewhat closer. Like to get the kicks completely underwater so you feel the recovery through the finish of the kick. This can be kicked in a variety of positions, and this is just going back to kicking breaststroke on his back. And the pull buoy actually makes you concentrate harder on your line because it puts an artificial float. So he's got to press his back position even more.
Take the next step with your line. The first process is going to be through your arms. And what we're going to visualize here is an anchoring effect that comes through swimming with a tight core and arms that anchor in a position where you move your body over that anchor. We're going to emphasize that a lot by doing a lot of sculling in many different positions. Sculling where you're on your back, on your stomach, feet first. And that's done by slowing the stroke down and feeling your corners especially. A lot of people do sculpt drills but don't really know what they're doing in the process. What we're trying to maintain here is a recognition of where your hands are in the water and where they would be during your stroke. So we'll do a lot of sculling with your feet forward, your feet behind you, positions that you wouldn't normally recognize where your hands would be, but it's an awareness of the width of your pull and the strength of your anchor. So when you would go to swim after that, it would easily make it more recognizable what quadrant of the water your hands need to be in location of your body.
One of our sculling drills, one arm at a time, just working corner anchoring and feel, and he's maintaining his core balance forward position. So he has to balance to get a great feel for it.
Everybody's going to have a different catch with their arms, but whether you think you're pulling water, you're sculling it, it's the same sense that you're going to be holding onto the water and moving your body beyond that hold position. There's certain drills that before a breaststroke set that I'll want to warm up with and get my ankles and knees involved so that when I am ready to go, it almost feels like I have a motor behind me that's directly perpendicular to my swimming line, that everything I'm doing with my kick relates to forward speed. Some of these drills are going to be wall kick, and what that does is allows extra pressure to be put against my ankles to force them in their flex position. Vertical kick the same way with maybe weights or something to force you down, again to stress this ankle position. So all these relate, I think, to that ankle position and total knee flexion. And what's that going to allow is a bigger range of kick, and that's going to keep that line long and increase your distance per stroke. There's one philosophy, and that's the fastest and furthest. As soon as you come off that block, it's got to be pure explosion. We're going to get in that long line. We're going to have a powerful pull out. and we're going to come up further and faster. That's the goal. I think the start is pretty individualized. I think you have to feel comfortable up there. First things first, you got to feel like you belong up there. The most important thing is you have to feel like as soon as that gun's off, all your energy can go directly into the water.
Turn. He's always so tight off his turns.
The technique of the turn is to reach the ultimate point, which is to get on the wall and off the wall the fastest. And that, to me, is done by coming in on a full stroke, touching with both hands, immediately dropping one elbow and driving the knees up to the wall. And after that's done, a perfect turn can be executed with a strong push-off and a long line.